welcome to this video looking at the latest fight to be confirmed, Wilder versus Chisora. An incredible fight that hasn't officially been confirmed as of yet by, I believe, the sanctioning bodies and things like that, and sort of the promoters, but in a sense has pretty much been confirmed massively by Chisora on I believe a few interviews where he didn't say that he's going to be fighting Wilder, but he sort of he nodded at the camera when they asked, because he couldn't say. And then also he's just sent out a video on Instagram, a video with him on a video call with Wilder, signing a contract and saying, look, we're fighting, and all that around it. I do believe that this amount of press and the amount Chisora's putting out around this fight, it will happen. I don't think Wilder would be involved in a video call if it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't pretty much all signed off. Apparently, it's all going to happen in April. I'm guessing the promoters are just getting the final details together for venues and etc. before they confirm. But look, a weird fight. I was looking at only last week at doing a video around. And it's been happening for a few weeks lately because, Usyk was talking about, who's the only person he's not fought in this era and beaten, and it was Wilder, which I thought was very true. I think that's the only person on a CV who in 10, 20 years' time you go, actually, in this era, that's someone he needs to fight. And that would show he'd been around everyone. Yes, Wilder's a bit past it now, but I don't think that matters when you look back in history. I think, for us now, we'll go, it's not the win Fury had against Wilder when he was that scary, but it won't matter. It's a history making fight which will go on a CV in a sense. In 20 years' time, people will look down who he fought and see he cleared out the division of every top name and every top pay-per-view star that you could. He's not taking these fights where you're going against people who can't sell tickets at current. They may do in the future, but at current, I think out of the people he could fight and out of the people he hasn't already beaten twice, which I'm alluding to Fury, he's the biggest payday, Wilder. To be honest, he is the biggest payday and biggest name, where if you do it in America, look, it will sell. It will sell tickets. This fight, though, I get it from one end, and let's talk about that. I get it from a Chisora end. 50th fight, big name, big payday. Biggest payday you probably could get. A 50th fight, which is to remember, a massive name, and if he is going to end his career, a big name to end on, which is perfect for him. And look, he'll get a decent payday out of this. Why take 3 fights when you can fight a Wilder for once? Which I think Chisora in his current state, ending his career really, he doesn't want to take many fights. He can't take that many fights because he will find someone who will beat him. And he's still good. He's still been at a decent level. Great career, a great fighter who's been very entertaining for a long time. But we've got to be mindful that he will end his career at some point. Look, should he take more fights or should he take a Wilder? I think he takes Wilder, especially with where Wilder's at in his career as well. I think Chisora will at least fancy it. And so I get it completely from a Chisora point of view. Yeah, he may get it done, maybe, if you can back up Wilder like some other people have and get that done. But if Chisora doesn't get it done, it's sort of it is what it is. It's a big last fight. He's got a payday. He can go off and retire now at a 50th fight, which he's lived up to. Really, Chisora being a very entertaining fighter who can sell fights. And I think it's important he gets that last fight as a big name, because I think that will show what he should have. Definitely what he should have for a career he's done. The fights he's had 50 pro fights. A legend, especially in the UK, of fighters. There's not many fighters who can go 50 fights pro and be so entertaining and know the art of selling fights. I don't think it's a Chisora fight you could ever say wouldn't sell. He's willing to sell the fight. He's on a call with Wilder. Clearly, they haven't got. They're not. They're not at each other. That they're very much. They're both boxers. They're respectful to each other, very much so. I would say. They're friendly, very much. When this fight's happening, when the press conference happened, I don't know what Chisora is going to do. And I think that's the best thing in the world. And it makes you tune in, not just for the fight, but the press conference. It gets hype around it. Chisora can be on that video call all happy, but then when the fight's happening, look, that is going to be a fight. So let's just see what happens. Wilder, I think the possibility of the Usyk fight happening is the question around that. It was there. Yes, Usyk said he wanted a Wilder fight. Were the terms reasonable and things? I think that could be a problem. But look, it's a big payday. There's no embarrassment to get beaten by Usyk. But look, would Wilder be beaten by Usyk? Yes. Does he probably know that? I don't know. I think it's hard to say with a boxer saying, "Look, I'm not going to go in there. I'm going to win." But I think that's part of it. I think he wants a win. He needs a win under his belt. He needs to start getting back into it. But I think, to be honest, for a Wilder, I don't know. I think this isn't a gone conclusion. I think if he is shots shy, like he has been before, he just stopped firing shots. What got you to the dance? What got you to a world titles? What got you into the Fury fights? Things like that. It was you willing to throw, and one of those in a fight, one of those punches in a fight would get the KO, and that was it. That's what Wilder is. And the fact is, he's not throwing as much. He's getting backed up. He used to throw, and not every punch would KO someone, but they would feel it and go, right, I need to be careful it and back up. They wouldn't pressure him as much. Look, Tyson Fury shown how you can push past that and push him, and he doesn't like fighting going backwards, but he has to find that fight again. He has to find that thing of, I'm going to take a shot and I'm going to throw one, and I know my punch is more powerful and I can take a shot. I think he's become very, very much I don't know, hands up, I can't throw fighter at the minute. There's just a lack of throwing punches and looking for that KO, which is a big problem. He needs to get that back at some point to really continue. And look, he said on many interviews, and I think everyone's asked him, where's that gone? What's happened to you? Where is that forward punch? I'm going to get the KO style. And yes, he lost pretty much every round in his entire career before he got that KO in every fight. But he got the KO every single time, and that's what got him to where he was. Now, he just seems afraid to punch. The fighters he's going against are pushing him back. He's getting beaten quite... he's against good fighters, but he's getting beaten against fighters that, he wouldn't have been beaten against before. And he seems, and it's hard to say it, scared to throw for someone who got that many KOs. He's scared to throw. And if he is against Chisora, even though Chisora's in his 50th fight, he will win. Chisora will go in there and look to push you back. You need to be able to throw. And if he doesn't get that back in this fight, I do see Chisora could retire and retire Wilder at the same time. An incredible statement to say, but think about it. Just give yourself a second to think about that. If Chisora beats Wilder, what does Wilder do? Wilder in no way gets a Usyk fight. In no way does he get a top heavyweight. He's never going to get a big name fighter again if he gets beaten by Chisora, who's looking to retire. A Chisora who you need to win against to show anything. And this is why I say it's probably Wilder's riskiest fight he could have took. Against the Usyk, if you lose, look, you lost against Usyk, so is everyone else. It's fine. against a Chisora, if you lose, it's a bit like, well, Chisora's looking to retire. The fighters he's faced recently, yeah, have they been of the caliber? No, not really. He's won, but they haven't really. They gave him a good fight. They haven't been at the caliber you're looking at. And Wilder needs big names to fight. He's not good. He shouldn't be, but he may do. But in a sense, why would he fight against these people with no big names? The purses, the amount he's going to get for every fight is just so minimal. He may as well retire, and I think that's what would retire him. I think there's just no need to. What's the point of fighting for lack of money to get in there and get hurt? If he consistently getting hurt, getting KO'd or getting finished becomes a real problem where he's got to go, look, this is enough now. This is enough. You've done it. You're never going to get back to where you were. Let's stop that journey. And that's why he needs to be so careful in this fight. Could go very simply either way here. Wilder comes back, looks like he did before, throw in, beats Chisora, gets a KO and goes, yeah, okay, yeah. He'll probably get the Usyk fight. After that, he'll probably get something after a win like that to show, look, he's got the punches back, gets people more interested in a Usyk fight in that sense, or a big fight at least in that sense. If he loses, I think it's a retirement for both. I think Chisora retires after this. I don't think he doesn't need to fight now, but I think he's always wanted to get to that 50 fight marker, professional fights, and against a big name who's been offered obviously quite a lot of money to fight. Why not? Why not? For Chisora. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. If I had to guess, I think a Wilder win happens, but I think it is a very, very dangerous fight for Wilder, and I think we definitely got to see how key it is. I wouldn't really want to put a prediction on it yet, because I think you've got to see these two guys in press conferences, see how they're looking, and just go, are you there, Wilder? Are you there? And that is the key. Are you back in any form, back towards what you were before, when you were KOing people and became an absolute superstar in America and across the world? That is key. Across the world in boxing, Wilder's name was the most feared name in the heavyweight division at a point not that long ago. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.